Oh, I'm cool.
It's just a because then you get sued. You know, like I can talk about, lying, let people see y'all acting. Saying somebody's sick. Now we're on a wider frame, so we can, it allowed me to rotate. Facebook don't allow you to rotate. Just so you know. My feet right here. Okay. See?
Much better.
Okay, we just have to, YouTube allows for that.
Yeah, I was on the top of Facebook. I think but it's all good.
And then in these first few, let's see, the live is gonna go on for what? A few seconds. Now we share this feed to our Facebook. I have to do it to my computer because my phone. Where's your phone? Your phone?
On my phone, I pretty good.
Oh, you can still use it to share the video. We still want that shared all the way around.
I always get in trouble with rings around when I'm on my phone. You know the rings when Williams around. You know the rings when Williams shows up.
You think that's Keith has something to do with that?
Huh?
It's Roland's fault. You can bring phone calls to everybody's phone.
I knew it.
Okay, all right. Just so that you know that. Just so that you know. Let's copy that. And let's see. So it's okay to, only thing I didn't think to do was kind of music playing Facebook on, you know, you gotta, own the rights to this, all that stuff. All right.
Gotcha.
Move my stuff out the way. Just looking out for Johnny. See how we're gonna move things.
What's in that subscription box?
These are my flash drives.
Your who?
Flash drives, it holds information. You can take it off the computer and put it on that little, and then that way you don't use all the space on your computer. You can put it there when you need it. You done it already? Did you approach?
That's already it.
You already did it? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Check you
Yeah,
out.
it's already done.
Okay.
Should be on my page already.
All right. I'm just putting it to the Black Coffee's page. And then I'm gonna go to Black Coffee.
Gotcha.
But I made that mistake the last time with Facebook, and it's paused my whole video because of the music on the YouTube. Don't do that. It lets you just do what you do. So, and it lets you rotate the phone. That's why it's much better.
I know, but see, this is the part that it does, like, that's what people see, and that's not engaging. That's why I mean.
Right, you can do that too, but I want you to look at what I'm about to do. You can do this.
And then it'll open it up.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, tell me how to do that.
Probably just follow what you see me doing over here. I'm sorry, the phone is, the computer is slow. These days we should have some people doing this for us. I don't have to. I go to sleep over here. So whenever this decides it want to load, and then it fell off the internet at some point. And, sorry, as I'm doing it, All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Black Coffee Wake Up Hour. We were just taking this time to share this post, this video to all of our social media platforms. We hope you did the same. I'm Dr. Shantae. I'm the CEO of Black Coffee Political Alliance. And to my right, we have,
Dr. LeVon Murphy.
and to my left,
Just a guy named Ro.
Ro Davis is one of the spokespersons that you see on behalf of the organization. So we want to remind everybody to share this video. This is the last live broadcast for the year.
Wow, wow.
This is the last broadcast. So we'll see everybody in 2019. So for today's topics, it's a hot topic. It's hard to go into the other educational pieces that we want to do because of the Chicago's mayoral race. So it's so much going on. I've seen other videos. I've seen the different mayor forums. They've been on the west side of Chicago. They've been at UIC. They're all over the city. And at the last time we had a broadcasting, Dr. Laverne Murphy had a great suggestion, a pre-election election.
That's right. I love that
You know,
idea.
so maybe Black Coffee has sent out a poll and have everybody reply to it who you would vote for. And of course, the polls that sent out will not identify you. So of course it is anonymous, but we would like to know who the people are thinking about. This, you know, so that's one of the things. So to go over the announcements really quick. We're at the end of the year already. We still have our New Year's Eve party here at the Box Center. It is a fundraiser for the Box Center, and that is Monday, December 31st, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. And I won't get into the other announcements for next year until next year. You can see some of our other videos where we went over those announcements, but we just want to plant the seed so that everybody can remember we have these things coming up next year. So we definitely want everyone to have a happy holiday season, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah. Oh,
Happy everything that you celebrate.
and believe it.
Absolutely.
You know, so usually we do this segment toward the end, but I want to talk more about the Chicago race at the end. So we have our things that make you go coon segment. So we're going to do this at the beginning of the video today. We have very short announcements and no major articles, so we're going to do this first. The last time we did it from an angle of people's perspective or their definition of coon. What do you think a coon is? Some people may think a coon could be anybody that wants to educate themselves or better themselves, just depending. You know, what would your thoughts be on that?
Well, in terms of what a coon is?
Right, a definition. The different definitions other people can have, not just yours,
Oh,
but somebody
Coon
else.
is anybody that black people feel have betrayed our interests. You know, somebody who's willing to side with the opposition to our progress. Somebody who aligns themselves with the people, the same people, by the way, who have colonized our people. Anybody that's not thinking about the self-interest of black folks as a collective, but is more so thinking about how they can align with the predominant interest of our community or against our community.
Okay, Dr. Murphy, you had an interesting, I want you to repeat your viewpoint from last week. It was at the end, you were walking out. Some people may not have heard you, so.
You gonna make me remember that?
Well, you ain't got to remember, just give us a fresh perspective. What's the goal?
Well, I don't know if it's fresh. I really like what you had to say, Ro. I would probably sort of condense the statement to those who are inclined to seek assimilation outside of our culture, as opposed to those who seek first and foremost to integrate themselves within the fabric of our culture. I think even further, there is an unconscious dynamic that actually causes too many of us to feel as though they have been fulfilled when they have gained open and broad acceptance among the very culture and population that oppresses us. And that same mindset will cause people to be a little bashful about acknowledging their identity with any movement that is pro-black, especially if you're around your other friends or if you are within your own group, but they're more like you, seeking to assimilate into larger culture. So they define what's acceptable by what's common among other people as opposed to what's common among their people. See? And so, personally, I don't like the use of the term, and it sort of, as I have watched people use it, too often they have applied it without any real knowledge of the person and what they really stand for. They may take certain things as a sign that you're a coon. See, Does it make you a coon because you're well educated? Does it make you a coon because you drive a nice car or that you live in an upscale neighborhood? Now, I'm sure you have plenty of coons who enjoy those types of advantages, but I'd be careful before I generally label everybody there as a coon.
The term itself is very funny, cool, when I think about it.
Yeah, it is funny. Now, I know what you mean. I question whether it's applied in a way that's fair to all people who might be victims.
Okay.
So, I think that, I would say it's smarter for us to look at one another as being a part of the struggle than trying to find a reason to claim they are not.
Yeah, but how do you make the distinction between people who do betray our interests? I think that part of the reason why we try to label people.
Then I think you can call that out specifically. Because now you're referring to somebody who has demonstrated a specific behavior that certainly fits in the coon category.
So now we get into the nitty gritty of it all, and that's why people been calling people coons.
Okay.
Because of that behavior.
Well, I'm saying, and that may be true, but what I've experienced, I've seen the term used too many times by people who didn't even know the person it was applying to.
I do agree that sometimes I think that people unfairly get called coons.
Yeah.
Because I think that people don't even have enough
And that's-
information.
Exactly, that's my point, and that's what we need to be careful about. If we have a specific person or persons where they have clear behavioral examples that fit the coon, then go ahead and call it out.
Yeah, because you know, I've been called the coon.
Well, I was gonna say, so
Right.
people can look at you
Hey, look,
because you're trying
none
to
of us
have $5
can-
million engines and
Right.
economic engines,
Right.
and somebody in one of those
That ain't coon
neighborhoods.
qualifications, I don't know what it is.
Well,
Right,
right. And some people's mentalities, you know, they're thinking anything above their neighborhood or their circumstances in life could be like, man,
Cool.
he sold out.
Cool.
He was gonna make $1 million, and he'd come, you know, so that
Yeah.
could be perceived.
Well,
as
let me tell you why I got called the coon. So, the guy, when we were trying to get jobs for our community, and that's an ongoing struggle, but he actually jumped on me because he said, yeah, and y'all give the community $10 an hour jobs while y'all walk away with all the money. And from that, he started calling me not Ro Davis, but Ho Davis. Hell, you laughing. No, but yeah, so he said Ho Davis.
so people are-
Right, he said Ho Davis
Term.
and the rest of them guys. So I had to defriend him. But I understand what you mean, Dr. Murphy, when you say that sometimes people are unfairly, and we don't necessarily have all the facts. So maybe what we need to do is create a coon commission.
And you've been a victim of that,
I have,
where people had.
when we had the governor.
Well, even before that, you know, just simply by the fact that when you are achieving relative success in this political economic environment, you're gonna stick out.
Yeah,
And then once you stick out, people will automatically label you because of that as not being as sensitive and as caring for your less fortunate brother.
yeah, now that's the truth.
Someone who would say, well, look, you handed out $10 an hour jobs. Well, if you're characterizing
Thank you.
that as if that's not an accomplishment, because right now, I got 19 people working today.
Yeah.
They're making not much more than 10, but they wasn't making no dollars when they got here.
That's
I
right.
would've,
And you should.
well, there are those who think I shouldn't.
Coon Murphy.
Coon Murphy.
Yeah, Coon Murphy.
Yeah, so
I
that's
get
an
it.
example of how we oftentimes make superficial judgments about too many things that really work against the ability for us to come together as a community and unify in a real way. Because if we keep looking at the ones among us that's successful and then disqualify them because of that success, then what we're doing is really disconnecting something we shouldn't disconnect from the group. And that's those with the leadership skills.
Now that's a very important point. That's why I think we need a coon commission. But I think that we
That
need,
wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm telling you.
But at least you wouldn't be calling nobody a coon unless you got some specific, credible information information that really makes that case.
Maybe a coon commission is a group of individuals that I'm thinking we should put together that have a set of criteria that could be publicized. And I think that we should put out a coon report.
So what are you doing? Looking for people who
I don't know. It's just something that came to mind.
Well,
But it would be helpful so that good people don't get trapped into being a coon because people don't understand. And it's very easy to get called a coon in this political season.
Yeah.
Because when you think about the fact that black people are so politically uneducated, and so when we make moves that are really in our interest, trying to move the political dial of power towards our interest, when people see, for example, when we met with the governor, we are not, as Black Coffee, Democrats, nor are we Republicans. But we are willing to meet with either side of power so that we can push our agenda. So if you're ignorant to politics and you saw us walking the governor down 79th Street, you would say, as many people did say, damn, you done sold the whole community out. You're a coon because you walked the governor down our condition. So I just think that in order to make such a label, you need people educated so that we understand. And now somebody will look at that same circumstance, see somebody walking with Mike Madigan or the Democratic machine, and not understand that they're being sold up the river. So how do we make that distinction? We need people who are educated.
Well, one thing for certain, you certainly can't make the distinction by the superficial glare.
That's my
what
point.
You saw. You know, it kind of reminds me of the story in the Bible where the word had went out that there was this evil woman that was killing small babies. And the tension and furor around that group, and they then got together to go into this village to confront this evil woman. And when they got there, what they learned was the young children had been afflicted by a deadly disease. And she came not to kill them. They were going to die anyway. But she needed to identify those who had been afflicted with the disease as a means of protecting the other young that was there. And so
That's an important point.
So what we hear and sometimes what we see cannot in and of itself be 100% relied upon without further research and inquiry to confirm what you suspect. Not simply,
Absolutely.
Not simply
So
just
maybe
because
what we
you
have,
suspect it.
right. So maybe what we have to do is have people submit their coon choices to the Coon Commission, and then we issue a coon report.
Well, yeah, but the Coon Commission needs an oversight Coon Commission to check on the Coon Commission.
Right, but the coonery is just out of control.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like,
But I think we would be out, look, I think seriously, I think you raised an important point for this consideration. How much more concerned should we be? Not with the coons, but identifying those who are making tremendous sacrifice to advance the interests and welfare forward. Can we identify them and create a commission, and whatever you want to name them, the opposite of coon?
Leaders?
that would be a
Or
better.
the Black Warriors?
No, I got you. You're saying something more positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the
Because see, now, if we go with the coon thing, we're gonna all be around here looking for the coons. So we gotta identify them. And in that process, we overlook the leaders who could have used our help.
it's just fun shooting
It's a
coons.
fun thing, man.
It's fun shooting
Well,
coons.
then we'll just
Coon
have,
hunting.
commissions for both then. You know, we'll have people to keep an eye out on coons, and then we'll have people that's putting the same positive energy in identifying the people who are making the sacrifices for the Black community. And then that way it'll be balanced. People will get a nice.
Yeah, I would nominate you for the Black Warrior Commission.
Warrior.
The Black Warrior Commission, yeah.
Warrior.
Oh, that's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
We are warriors. And I mean, we are in one hell of a war, and not many want to fight it.
No, I agree.
You know, trying to do this political alliance, this is a war.
It is.
Because our people have been purposely crippled to have even the most basic understanding of what we're trying to do.
Right. You know,
So, we have a segment, we gotta interject, a little education with every wake-up hour, to educate the masses, those that are interested in learning something. Because as you say a lot, most people in their whole K through 12 education don't know these basic terms and these basic things. So we have a question that we're putting out there, a post, and everybody can just get on and give your answers, and then we'll give the answer at the end of the wake-up hour. Today's wake-up question is, how many levels of government do we have? So that's all we're just put in your comments, put your answers in, and we'll answer that towards the end. So that's today's educational piece.
I like that.
Very basic question to see
Very
basic, to see what do you know so far?
Yeah.
And where can we go from there? How many levels of government do we have as it exists in this country?
That's a great question.
So we're gonna move on to, what's your answer? We're not gonna tell you if it's right or not. Just throw your hand.
Well, I know that we have the judicial.
Okay.
Oh.
It's enough.
I think it's straight.
It's enough.
I think it's straight.
Okay. All right, we'll give the answers. We'll let Dr. Murphy give the answer.
Yeah, and break it down.
Right, but for the sake of you not being by yourself, I throw my ignorance in the hat too. My answer would be 4, and then we'll let us know or not at the end. But anyway, so we'll move to the next part of that. So we'll conclude the coon segment so that we don't have to
Coonerize. You don't want to over coonerize.
Right, there's plenty to talk about when it comes to coon. I'm sure we're gonna have enough stories by January for the coon segment next year. So this part of the segment that we're gonna move to, and we're actually gonna talk about it as we head out for the holiday season, and that is Chicago's mayoral race. In 2 days, we'll have a finalized ballot. The deadline is December 20th, they say. And we know of some people who already, December 20th, they told us. I think I read it in the Sun Times or something.
To determine the ballot position?
Yes, on the 20th, they told us. So we've been waiting to talk about that until having a final ballot. A lot of them are in the middle of petition challenges, and some have made it. I know Amara, Anya, she's on there, and no one challenged her. We have some other contenders that are being challenged within each other. I know J Mall is being challenged by Willie.
I have to count through 62,000 signatures.
So they're like, you know what, forget it. Forget it. So we know J Mall is being challenged by Willie Wilson. We know that Lori Lightfoot is being challenged by Tony Preckwinkle. We know that Susanna Mendoza is being challenged by Tony Preckwinkle. We know that Dorothy Brown is being challenged by Willie Wilson and Tony Preckwinkle. Did I miss anybody?
I don't think you did.
Nobody else that's relevant enough.
Now I believe Chico's had some with Daley, but he withdrew it. Where they were trying to challenge the legitimacy of his signatures. And I read an article where his spokesperson said, we're just gonna withdraw it because we'd rather focus on the campaign instead of trying to pinpoint people who have fraudulent signatures. So they decided not to do that. So then we have some aldermanic,
I think that is probably a need within the system where change is needed. I do not think it should be left up to candidates to challenge one another. I think the system should determine the legitimacy of signatures.
how do you mean so, with the
Well,
system?
you have the board of election, people register to vote, they sign, and so when I run for office and I need a qualifying number, as in the mayor, 12,500, those signatures go to our board of elections commission. They should determine if there are the requisite number of qualified signatures to put you on the ballot. For example, the way we have it now, if a person's petitions were not challenged, then all of them could be bad, because they're not challenged. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think every signature on a petition ought to be validated by the authority that we have constructed to do that. Not left to the candidate's partisan bias to challenge it. And I think that any candidate should be able to challenge it, but the count should be determined by the election commission, not the challengers team of inspectors, you know.
Right.
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Okay, so they should be, I mean, I guess that puts some checks in
But as
place.
soon as Black Coffee political alliance take power, we will ensure that those changes in our system structurally are taken care of.
Absolutely. You know, so with the aldermanic, some of them, I haven't gone into great detail because it's 50 seats, so we don't have enough time to go over there. But we'll go over one of the most controversial ones of the 15th ward because he's had some volunteers and people that were victims to gun violence as canvassing for him. So he's a famous candidate, I don't know, for lack of a better word, I'm gonna say famous, but he certainly has name recognition because of the events that took place with one of his volunteers being shot on Facebook Live, no less, canvassing for him in his ward. That he's
Let me
running for.
suggest something, tell me if this makes sense to you. Whether our focus is in the wrong place when it comes down to the upcoming election. We're all focused on the mayor. The mayor is gonna preside over the executive branch. And the aldermen that are running will be seated in the legislative branch.
Yes.
That's where the laws are made.
Yes.
The mayor don't make law.
No.
He execute law and he make policy. So it's a powerful position, but if you want to control the mayor,
Control the alderman.
control the alderman.
Interesting.
And if you don't control the alderman, you don't control the mayor.
People gotta.
Our situation in Chicago, our aldermen don't control the mayor. Our mayor control the alderman.
It's
Which
backwards.
effectively makes then the mayor the lawmaker. If old man Daly could tell the aldermen, especially the black ones, I want you to jump, and all they do is say how high. When you review the mayoral proposals over the last 30, 40 years, and then look at the votes of the aldermen, especially
They're all
ours,
100%.
they're all 100% behind.
See,
I
these
saw that, you know,
Those
I saw
are
it
kinda-
was 190, like you could look at the
Yeah.
alderman.
they've been rubber stamped.
You know.
That's what they call our city council.
So I want to bring that brings me to a very important question and statement. You know, the interesting thing about
And Ro,
Yes.
that is always the most important thing. We gotta understand that. We always think the answer is what we're looking for. Our problem is we haven't found the question. I love it when somebody say, I have a question.
right.
Yeah.
But this is that you bring up an important point. In fact, before I came to the wake up hour, I was speaking to a brother about this upcoming mayoral election and the aldermanic election, etc. And one of the points that he made was that I really don't care about any of the candidates that are currently in politics because they all reflect and represent the machine. What I believe, and this is the brother talking, is that we need to get some new blood into office so that we can really change things. Now, my point is that I don't know that putting new blood in an old system can really change things. I think that there's a culture that causes the mayor, there's a culture here in Chicago where the mayor has the power, or that the machine has the power. So I want to ask you, Dr. Murphy, do you believe that we can put new blood into the current system and get a different outcome for the people? Now,
Go ahead.
now my thought is, well, you know what? I want to withhold my thought. I want you to just share it.
Let me give you an example of just what you're asking.
Okay.
Let me just say this. Yes, you can change the system by putting new blood in an old system. And in doing so, the system is no longer old now, it's now new. And Doc, who has a medical background, can attest to the fact that old blood
will not replenish the system. They're gonna have to lay you down on the table, and they're gonna have to infuse or transfuse new blood in order to revitalize that organism. And so, just the point that I was making earlier, the problem.
Old blood will die eventually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They have to be circulated.
It's, it's gonna just die out anyway, so you're gonna have to put new blood anyway into the system. And this leads back to
But
what I was
doesn't
talking.
that, you're right, I agree with that 100%. But our system has to, that bodily system has to still replenish blood and maintain a certain level of blood within the body.
That's true.
Once that falls below a certain level, you're getting ready to have problems. So
Yes.
our problem, bro, to answer the question, yes, you can. So if you can, what must be done? What we're trying to do now, and that is to create a non-aligned political institution that can put a black coffee candidate in every 18 black wards and have the voting populace behind that candidate to overthrow the balance of power in the city council now, regardless of its racial composition. Now, there's an example of that. You remember the Tea Party?
Yes.
The Tea Party was all new candidates coming into the Republican Party to challenge the status quo. And they defeated the Republican Party's Eric Cantor was the head of the Republican Party. They ran candidates against him, knocked him off. Ted Cruz in Texas, Marco Rubio in Florida, and I can go on and on and on.
They were a part of the Tea Party?
Tea Party.
Okay.
And they Tea Party, and they jumped in there. Now, the larger party has kind of neutralized the Tea Party. They roped in, but they come out the gate taking names and kicking butt, and they changed the Republican Party. Changed it.
Right, but now here's the...
Even ran, look, you had Rubio and Cruz became major contenders in the Republican primary. And they dropped out at the end, and nobody thought Trump was going to beat both of them out. But we was very close to having a Tea Party member in less than 6 years as a major candidate for president.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So but
One of the things that I, want to say, and I mentioned, because we did talk about this in the last Black Coffee Wake Up Hour that we had. It was a weird broadcasting that we had with Tarhaka, one of our younger members of the organization, when he asked the question, well, on the Black Coffee board by itself, we all are supporting different mayoral candidates, right? So how do we, decide when Black Coffee decides to endorse someone, how do we all make that decision? And this is just to piggyback on what you're saying about how it's done, because this, again, we're infusing new blood into the system, right? And exactly how is that done? With all the little efforts that we're doing now with Black Coffee and the New Life Movement, and I was saying to him that it is through the membership. As we are building the membership, and we're building it with all of these people who are voting members of the New Life Movement, they're the ones that are making the decision. Roland's not making a decision, I'm not making a decision, or at least not alone or solely. We are members too, and we get to put our votes inside of that.
Right.
But it's going to be the constituency that's going to decide who it is that Black Coffee is going to endorse. It's based on the members, the everyday, ordinary citizens. But here's the thing about those coming into the New Life Movement. Those members are what we say, or what I've been saying, that we have to unplug from the matrix. They are already a part of a system. Their mentality is along with that system. So, you think about that movie, it was back in 1999, and they were unplugging people from that system. They were being reborn, re-educated, and that is what essentially you'll be going through, coming through the New Life Movement.
that's a powerful point.
Re-educated
That's
on how,
unplugged.
and then
Yes.
re-implement it back into the system to change it. But
Powerful.
if you're not unplugged, so to add to your question, if you put a new fresh blood into the same system, they could become corrupt if they are not unplugged first, and then they're just
Powerful.
working with the machines. So if they're going in, and I'm sure all of these candidates are well-intentioned, and they all want change, but we really have to dismantle the corruption in the system first, and you
By
do
starting
that.
within that person?
No, it starts within that person, but it also starts within the membership into this movement, because that's how you're gonna get
Okay.
educated anyway. So how do you get new ways of thinking, new customs?
Right.
And that is through your membership. You're joining this organization to learn what you were not taught in school, to learn the things that were not given to our community, to learn what was taken from
Right.
us when they killed and assassinated all of our leaders. So anybody that is, and like I said to the young man then, if you're not one of us, you're one of them, which makes you dangerous to us, because that means that system can use you to kill us.
That's right.
So it's like, you know, and that's how it was in the movie. Those agents were able to move in and out of the people in the Matrix, and all of the people like Morpheus and Neo, those characters, and they had to protect themselves even against them. They were ordinary people, but the minute they threatened that system, and it's just a few of them, they went after them. So that new blood definitely has to be trained. We got training
It
sessions
ain't
for
new if it
everybody.
ain't trained. You know what
You know, I think that you bring, that is a very
So-
powerful, clarifying point.
You know,
If you wanna unplug, in order to join the movement, you got to unplug.
That's right, that is.
And you have to be totally re-educated, and that's why we created Black
not
Coffee.
brainwashed, but educated with the truth.
Well, you already brainwashed.
Well,
We gotta
but
wash
we
your
don't-
brain.
But we don't want
I know
people
what
to
you mean.
think, yeah.
Let me add something to your point. That was a powerful point. that you
Well,
made.
powerful.
Listen, here's a term. And it frustrates me sometimes when, and it's frustrating me, but I'm not angry at my people. I know they have been purposely denied this information.
Mhm.
There has never been an interest or will. The one time that amazes me, and I can never answer how it happened, slaves came out of slavery. They didn't know about no voting. They had never participated in the voting process,
No.
but yet they come out, and in 1868, when they passed that 14th Amendment and gave them the right to vote, they instinctively had enough sense to vote as a block.
Mm.
We all vote together.
Yeah, it is.
Now, part of that had to do with the fact that the slaves lived a segregated reality.
Yeah,
They was all in one congregated space anyway.
yeah.
So they had the common sense to pick Roe out of the crowd because he could talk good. And make him the state representative. Make him the mayor. They voted Blanche K. Bruce to the U.S. Senate during Reconstruction. And we just had, if you all know, Mike Epstein run for the U.S. Senate out of Mississippi against a racist white woman. He lost by a very narrow percent. If he had won, he would have been the second black. It would have been over 100 years
But there's a
since
lot of,
Mississippi sent a person to the U.S. Senate that was.
Very powerful.
Now listen to
there's
this.
a lot of voter suppression in the
Oh,
South.
yeah, we know that.
You know,
We know. They don't play every game they can. They've been doing voter suppression until they come out the gate. One way they voter suppressors hung a nigga who showed up at the voting. Once they did that, when nobody else going to the courthouse talking about they want to listen to the vote. So voter suppression ain't new. They just can't quite do it the way they did it
we
before.
don't mean to laugh, people, about, it's more so his delivery than the actual thing. Of course, we're not laughing about somebody.
No, we're
who's
not
wrong,
laughing about that.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be thinking that voter suppression is new.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yes.
It just has shown up in a more civilized
Well,
way.
it's,
exactly.
you know, because.
Now they don't let you vote because you don't have your voter ID card.
And the things that they were doing in the Stacey Abrams race, the guy who running against him just so happened was the head of the whole department for where everybody had to register to vote. And then he come sliding in little things that only applies to African Americans.
Yeah, her candidate was the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
no way he should have been allowed to stay in that position if he's a candidate for governor.
No way.
So is that by
have to
accident
recuse
her votes got
You,
disqualified?
well, you leaving the wolf now is in charge of the votes. And the wolf is running against the fox.
Yeah.
And you're wondering why the fox vote is coming up short. But
Right.
here's what we gotta get. This is, we're gonna work on this in 2019.
Yes.
We need to dismiss the idea about your personal political opinion.
Yes.
Yes.
It ain't
Your
important.
emotion. Yeah, the emotion
I'm
behind
gonna, let me say this, it is important, but not in the found analysis. So we have to look at it this way. There's
Hello?
11 of us in the room,
Hello?
Oh, okay.
and we gotta make a decision that's gonna affect the whole group.
All right. Okay.
We cannot be divided by our difference of opinion. We must go into our own caucus with the 11 of us. So now we're gonna come in here, we're gonna debate the issues, we wanna hear exactly how you feel and what you think about this,
Okay.
every one of us. And when we get through with all the discussion, we're going to take a vote in the group, whether we are for or against this. And if the majority of us vote for it, then the other 5 join as if it was their decision all along.
Yes, that's true. You know, I want to ask your opinion about this. I saw a live feed with Gregory Sane, the new Black Leadership Coalition member who has that radio show. We were on it some months ago, and he actually interviewed LaShawn K. Ford yesterday, and I guess I've never heard him speak before. Or speak about the things that he done, and I mean, he raised a very important point about with all the other candidates for mayor on there. I mean, you really want to look at their track record and what it is that they have done. Like, you know, it's one point as to when you're deciding to choose somebody. Like, yeah, new blood, okay, but also let's look at what have they done. One of the things that, you know, I guess there's some type of contention between him and Dr. Willie Wilson, and he was just saying that, you know, I guess.
Willie Wilson and
LaShawn Ford,
okay.
yes, and also Jamal Green to some extent, because I saw something out there, a video that was from Jamal D. Green's camp in retaliation, probably for Dr. Willie Wilson for something. You know,
Willie Wilson challenged his petition.
yes, and you know, he did something retaliatory online, you know, as opposed to that, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, you see this thing where the black men are going against the black men. And I'm not saying that LaShawn or Jamal were going against any other black man, but Dr. Wilson went against them, and he also went after Dorothy too. But then you see that Tony Preckwinkle went against all of the other women of color that were on the, you know, challenged them as well. And like you said, challenges certainly is good. But I don't want to get to the point where LaShawn was saying that we don't want to give this impression to the young people who aspire to be in public office one day or have any interest in politics to be deterred from doing it with this false conception that they need money to do it. You know, there was a statement.
No, you need votes.
You need votes to do it, right? You don't need money to run for public office. You just need the support of the electorate. So that was a very nice point that Mr. Ford made about it being disheartening for, and it's not his exact words, I'm just paraphrasing from what I remember. It was disheartening that Dr. Wilson would make a statement to suggest that you need money to run for mayor of Chicago. And we want new people to get involved and be inspired to be involved in the political process and not thinking that they needed to have money to do so. So one of the things I was able to appreciate in his representation, in his interview, when he said that, you know, I was like, wow, that's, you know, that's something. And then of course he started talking about his relationship with Mike Madigan and how he's someone that's an independent and that he's ran against their platforms all the time, and that's been a constant struggle. But he also pointed something out that is missing within the black community, and I wanted to be sure to speak about this in the wake-up hour. He said to Gregory Sane that when they're down in Springfield, the Hispanic or the Latino community, they got like a $95 billion something, I don't remember the details, but it got passed. And the reason that it got passed, and so Gregory's saying that, oh, you voted in favor of it, and this made me gain a lot of respect for Mr. Ford when he said, well, yes, I voted yes too. He's like, I wouldn't necessarily put another group down just because I'm pro-black or that I'm trying to, do more for my people. So yes, I voted for this thing to pass for the Hispanic community. He's like, but they showed up and lobbied every day for a year. Busloads of them come down there to Springfield.
We don't do that.
And I listened to Mr. Ford and I said, you know what? That's a good point. Black people, Hispanics aren't any more privileged than us. They were able to go down there by a busload and lobby for what they wanted and made noise on the Capitol, Springfield. They made noise. It is just like the president. I'm trying to remember which one with Dr. King, which one was when he told him Johnson when he said make me do it, right? And it wasn't like, oh, I did make me do it. He meant politically organized and make me do it. And that's why you can tell in the Hispanic and Latino communities, even in Chicago, I can't speak for every one of those, but even in some of them I've seen in Chicago, they are getting things done because they understand that if we could just get black people to stop fighting amongst each other and go and lobby, show up by the busload in Springfield and make them do it.
That's the only way it's going to get
Then
done.
the black people who are in the caucuses there will certainly vote for it because they see they got that support showing up behind them making noise. So that's what the membership is all about as well. Showing up, getting engaged. Stop saying I don't care about it, and because we're going to end up in chains again.
You can't care about something you don't know about.
That is true.
And so education will allow us to know about it.
That's
As
true.
the point I was trying to make a little earlier.
And I don't want you to forget to give the term for the day. We want to give them a new political term to learn, but also after your point, give us your term for the day.
Okay. I use the example, there's 11 of us go in the room.
Yes.
And all 11 of us go in there with a different opinion.
Okay.
We close the door and we express our opinions. We debate our opinions. And in that process, an opinion I went in that was all mine, when I finished, a couple of people sided with me.
Okay.
Now there's 3 people in the group that's decided with me. Over here, another person opinion, someone joined with them. Now it's 2 of them. This process went on until everybody had a chance to have their say and make their alignments.
Okay.
At the end of the day, 6 people total joined with me.
Okay.
Now here is the commitment
That's the
we
majority.
must make.
Okay.
That's called the consensus.
The consistency.
And in Black Coffee, we agree to always go with the consensus,
Yes.
even if it differs from your personal opinion, because that way we stay as one.
Right.
Rather than splintering into a lot of different factions because we have a difference of opinion.
Yes.
Your difference of opinion is what's killing us. Only consensus will build us when we can come out of our caucuses, as we do in Black Coffee Political Alliance, New Life Movement Ministries, in our House of Delegates. They vigorously debate the issues, but we all go in there committed to supporting the consensus.
Yes.
When you work in a company,
Okay, so we could say consensus is going to be the word for today. What is a black consensus? Go ahead. Give it a definition.
Well, in simple terms, a black consensus is simply the majority position within the larger group. That's the consensus. If any of you have ever worked in a corporate structure, management, and you're training employees, I was told coming up in management that when the leader has made a decision about a management position or policy, and you disagree with it, but you're subordinate to this person, they depend on you to be loyal to their direction.
Yes.
So you may go and debate with your supervisor. Well, I think this is here, a lot of people consider that. The upper person that considers it and then decides to stick with the position they took. And they thank the subordinate for their input and especially their willingness to come forward and express it.
Okay.
The good follower is the one that when the person above does not follow their suggestion, that person then takes the leader's suggestion as if it's their own.
Okay.
They don't move forward disgruntled or try to sabotage the decision because you didn't agree. No. They own that.
Okay.
They own that. And this is what we must learn to do. When the consensus is reached, and the consensus is reached when a majority of the opinions now converge into one position. And we all 100% agree that once the consensus is reached, that we will follow it. When that happens, then you have what's known in political parlance as a body politic, an organized body politic.
Okay. Organized
Body
politics.
politics. And
Okay.
that's where political power lies, within an organized body politic. What is the Democratic Party? It is an organized body politic.
I would say that the Republican Party is the one, like, because they would go with the stupid.
They too.
You know, they would.
It ain't just one. It ain't just one body politic. It's any group that has the sense to solidify its numbers and then work on behalf of what's in the best interest of your political agenda.
Okay, so we got one word and one phrase. So the word that we had was the consensus, and then the phrase body politics. Okay, there we go, start. And that just meant that you go with the majority. If you're part of the voting and you feel strongly in the opposite direction than the majority, you still go with the majority because it's the best interest for the group
For
to
the group,
stick
that's the key
together.
word. That's the key word. You always vote in the best interest. Follow the group.
Yes,
So what we'll do is, whenever we disagree with the group, we lead the group.
yes.
That we must stop doing. We're stronger with the group, even when we personally disagree with the consensus.
Yeah, so, I'm be very interested to see, with all these people who feel very strongly about their black candidates that they want to win the mayoral race. It's gonna be interesting to see, can you still see this on the black hole?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
because
awesome.
I'm on through
So that's good. So, that's a good definition for everybody to learn from today. Consensus, going with the majority.
Now,
alignment.
the question, I think we had some polling, whether how many levels of government.
Oh, yes. Oh, Dr. Murphy, he's gonna give us the answer for today's question. How many levels of government is there?
All right, very good.
Make sure you-
There are 4 levels of government. And what often happens, people confuse levels with branches of government.
That's what I did.
I know you did. Branches are co-equal at every level they exist.
Yes.
And we have 3 branches of government at the federal level, at the state level, at the county level, and at the municipal level. And so those 3 branches, executive, the mayor, legislative, the city council, judicial, the corporation counsel's office,
Right.
and the city courts. At the county level, we have the same thing, executive branch. Tony Preckwinkle's department, she's the executive. The legislative branch, the Cook County Board, they make the laws. And the county judicial system, the county courts.
Right.
And so now we get to the state level, same thing. 3 branches. The governor is the executive, the general assembly is the legislative body, and we have our judiciary all the way up to the Illinois Supreme Court. And the same thing at the federal level. So each level of government duplicates the same structure of 3 co-equal branches of government. That happens at 4 levels, and there's 3 branches, I don't care what level that you're working on. Very fundamental for people to understand that, you know. And one of the things we have, which is a real problem, is when the executive branch can co-opt your legislative branch. Then you don't have an independent legislature.
So that's what's happened here in Chicago?
Exactly. For the last 50 years, it's been co-opted by the executive branch.
Mm-hmm.
And it will stay that way because guess what? All of our elected officials down through the years have first and foremost been Democrats.
This is the part that Black Coffee must step into, because we've got to insulate the politicians that we want to make the change.
That's right.
And this is why I think that you have made the point that I was trying to make to the brother earlier.
Yeah.
You can put new blood, but if we don't create a structure or a strategy that gives us real power for real change, then you'll have the new blood just doing exactly what those individuals.
Because what you did was you confused putting somebody in there new with new blood.
Damn, plays closed. Got it.
Right, it's not the same
New
thing.
don't mean new blood.
New blood.
Ah.
We done put new people in the legislative branch for the last 50 years.
Got
and
it.
ain't changed.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Well, this is our purpose, Ro. When we sat down to create black, see, people ain't got it yet. How critically important this is for black folks all over America.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
These lessons have not
Say it to
been
the
taught.
camera.
You know, one day I'm gonna learn that the people is in that box there. I cannot get adjusted. I haven't been ready to talk to a person. Y'all forgive me. They are gonna get on my case until I get this right.
You know, make sure you go.
That's
on
what
the
we're trying to do
us.
now. We're now trying to create that new blood.
Mhm.
And
I
we're
get
going to do it.
Yeah.
Because pretty soon we'll be handing out that New Life Movement Ministries Black Coffee Political Alliance membership
I
card.
can go into my. Yeah. Is it rolling?
I usually just look in my phone, not yours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
To see if it was, okay. I don't think it's on anyway. Is it still on?
Yeah, I don't think it's, because it seemed like it closed. Yes. Well, it says it's ticking. Let's close it.
Let's take a look here. Yeah. Quick break.
Huh?
Well, it still says that it's live.
I'll talk to you after I talk to you.
What's wrong?
Well, we need to get on in there quick.
That's the Las Vegas day.
Sorry, we thought it was a brief interruption in our broadcast. We apologize. At the first of the year, all of those little problems we should have settled. I'm trying to look here to see.
Hey, Alfred, where are you at?
See here. Not sure, you know. So just to recap on what Dr. Murphy was saying about the question for today, how many levels of government are there? There are 4 levels of government, okay? You have the federal level that we are very familiar with. You have the state level, you have the county level, and then you have the municipal level, which is also your local city government or township government. Those 2 words they use interchangeably, municipal and city, or municipal and local government, okay? Then he was talking about the 3 branches of government. And that would be the judicial branch is one, and that's the courts. The legislative branch, which is the lawmaking body, and the executive branch. Okay, the people who will be sitting are usually the president, the governor, and the mayor. Those are the titles of the executives, the people who hold the office of the executive branch. So these basic concepts are still very important for us to know. We have to know the 4 levels of government, and we have to know the 3 branches of government. and that 3 branches exist in each level of government. Okay? So let's not forget that, so we kind of understand what's going on. We have a city election going on. And if we want to understand the different branches of our level of the city government, the executive branch is our mayor, the legislative branch is the city council that makes up all of the aldermen, and then you have the courts. Okay? So we'll go over these things. Maybe I'm even inspired to make some posts just to give those basic definitions so that we can start to understand. Again, Dr. Murphy said you can't care about something that you don't know about. So if we just begin to educate, and if on a receiving end, just learn these different terms, learn what they mean, then you understand what's being articulated to you, what's being conveyed to you. You have an understanding now. And maybe with knowing better, we can all do a little better. So we're going to conclude today's Wake Up Hour. We appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I see the buttons, I see the likes here. I'm constantly following and trying to respond to those. Thank you guys so much. We want to say happy holidays to everybody again. Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah. If I missed anything, I'm so sorry. It's just limited to the few that I am aware of and exposed to. We'll see everybody right after the new year. I'm not sure which January date that is, but we'll be sure to let you guys know when we'll be back on the live feed. We'll be showing a lot of throwback videos over the next 2 weeks, that over the holiday period. We want everyone to stay safe and also stay woke. Thank you guys so much for today's Black Coffee Wake Up Hour.